Welcome back to the Through the Veil podcast. I'm Elle, and this is the podcast where we seek to demystify, develop, and celebrate our spiritual gifts all through a faith-based lens. Today is going to be a bit different. We have with us today Alison. Hi, Alison.
Hi, Elle.
Camille is not with us today because we are going to be doing another live one-on-one reading with Alison. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself just briefly, Alison, and then we'll get into it.
You got it. Well, obviously, my name's Allison, and it's through my dear sister that I even get this amazing opportunity to meet you and to learn more about your gift. I'm just wide open to the experience. I'm in healthcare, so I'm probably surrounded by many souls long since passed,
All the time.
all the
Um,
time.
just for the benefit of the audience, we have never met. We don't know anything about each other. Um,
Exactly.
this was set up by our producer, our podcast producer, Rachel, who is connected to you. But we both came in with like zero information about each other. You didn't even know that this was going to be a visual podcast.
I thought I brushed my hair.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I believe it.
Um, so you've never done anything like this before, right?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay. So, for our audience's benefit and for your benefit, I like to give a little bit of background in how this works, educationally speaking, so that we know what to expect. It's not magic. There's nothing here that's like crazy mysticism. There's a lot of like practical, maybe physics or science that goes into things like this. Essentially, how this works is we have spiritual senses that mirror our physical senses. So just as we have the ability to see, to hear, to feel, to touch, even to kind of like have gut instinct about things, we have spiritual senses along with that. We're a spirit inside of a body, right? It makes sense. So our soul perceives these things too. So I have kind of intentionally honed and exercised each of these things to give me kind of a well-rounded perspective of how to use things to connect to those people on the other side of the veil because they speak in this language of spiritual sensibility. So I have
Hmm.
to take all these things and I have to put them into English words. And there is like the skill behind it all because sometimes finding language to describe spiritual experiences can be kind of challenging. So if I see something, if they show me something, or if I sense something, if I feel something, sometimes it'll be very literal. It'll mean exactly what they're showing me. And sometimes it'll be symbolic. The things that they show me, it's not for me, it's for you. These are your people, right? The background that they have with you, the context they have with you is yours. So it's, for me, it's like going to lunch with a person one time. Whatever they share with me, that's what I get. That's what I know. I don't always get to know the full story behind everything that they share with me. It's not pertinent. What's pertinent is this message that they're bringing forward for you. They're your person, right? I'm a translator in this situation. That's all. So if we don't
Wow.
understand a piece of information and they're maybe not forthcoming or I'm just not getting the implied meaning in the right way, I will always tell you keep it in your back pocket. Save it for later. It may become important later, tomorrow or the next day. You might be like, "Oh, I get it. I get what they were talking about now." Or maybe I was wrong, right? And I'm totally kidding. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty on point, but I'm not perfect at everything I do. In the same vein as that, also keep in mind what we're doing here is not fortune telling. It's not telling the future. It's not predicting things. I'm not about that. And they aren't necessarily either. They have maybe a little more awareness than we do about the things going on because they don't have those physical restrictions that we have anymore. But take everything with a grain of salt. Pray about it. Think about it. Ultimately, everything that happens here is up to you whether you want to take it as advice or not. You have choice in the matter, and that is always first and foremost. You don't have to listen to anything they say. Don't ask for financial advice. Don't ask for business advice. Don't listen if they give it necessarily. Like, take it under your own consideration. That's important. Who they are is still who they are, essentially, at the core. What they're giving you at best is the advice that they would have given you. Maybe they were great at advice, and maybe they weren't so great at advice, right? So keep that in mind. They're still who they are. They are still the person they are. Maybe with a bit more elevation, expanded perspective, hopefully growth as they get to the other side and their spirit continues on that journey of evolution that they have. We will start with evidence. Evidence-based is really important because it helps us identify who they are. So with that being said, there's a couple of different ways that we can go about doing this. We can start open and general and just kind of like see who's hanging around and who wants to say something, or we can take it in a specific direction. And if you have a specific person with our limited time that you want to speak to, we can try to find that person. Once that door is open, I don't ever know specifically who's going to come through. Most of the time, I'm really good at finding people, but sometimes people jump the line and they feel like their message is more important than who we're looking for.
I'm ready to jump to the chase just because I think I've been wanting feedback. So, and I'm
Okay.
open to whoever. through as well. But it would be amazing to get to have a conversation with Leanna.
Leanna. Okay. Is this a friend of yours? Is this a friend
Absolutely.
relationship? Okay.
Yeah.
I always start with a prayer. That's really important to me. It's a
Yeah.
huge part of my own practice. And so I always ask for, clean communication for the Holy Ghost to be with us and we can feel that, like the truth and the validation of from God being here and being over this process. So I go ahead, I say that kind of in a quick moment to myself, and then I have an open visualization that kind of lets the spirit world know that I'm ready to work. We're here. We're gonna get into it, and then we begin when I start to receive that information. You can say one to yourself if you want to say your own little personal prayer, or you can think of the things that you would like to be addressed on the other side. And if we don't get to all those things, once we know who we're talking to, please ask. This should be conversational, and you should feel like you're being engaged and involved with this person that you want to talk to on the other side. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You got
So I'll go ahead and I'll do that real quick, and then we'll begin as soon as I start receiving things.
you got it.
Okay. Immediately with Leanna, right? Or Leanne?
Yeah.
Um, I feel a very vivacious personality come through with her. She feels like a blonde because blondes have more fun. That's how she feels. And
Love that.
she comes in, she's like, I am ready. She's like all in it for the fun. I feel like she was a really she's a beautiful person. Like I feel like she was probably pretty attractive. That's what she comes forward with, but it's not necessarily like this was the most identifying factor about her. I feel like even along with that attractiveness, she had a killer personality. She
Oh
was
my.
like, I'm not sure if she drank, but she would be a hard drinker. She'd be that person who's all into the party all the time. She comes off maybe I feel like when she would come into a room, she would like take like a look of everything there and she would like take it all in and it wasn't, she was not like a slow to warm, but she was like an observe it. And then all of a sudden she comes in with this big personality and she hits you with this sense of humor immediately. And everybody stops and they're like, oh, like I want to be her friend. Um, she's great. She's got a huge smile. It's like she had really white teeth because that just comes forward. It's like, ding! And she has West Coast vibes. Would she be from like California or something, Southern California? She's got like this beach West Coast vibe, like sun
Oh,
kissed. Like this is like a lot in her background. Was the beach an important place? She shows me a lot of like
oh,
oceanside or something to her.
we're in Santa Barbara. That's where we met and where we began amazing, endless
Your
laughter.
friendship.
Yeah.
She like embodies that like sense of Southern
Oh,
California. Like
I
this
love,
is her personality entirely. She's like laid back and easygoing, but she's here for the party and she's fun. And
ah,
she's all about the hanging out at night and doing all the fun things
oh,
together. And that is very much her personality. She comes into it.
yeah.
And I feel like she's pretty successful. Not that she couldn't also balance like having a serious actual life, but even then she had a great sense of humor and she took everything in stride. She just had a
Oh,
really sense of a personality where she was like, nothing is that serious. Nothing is that serious. It can still be fun. We can be creative. We can be fun in our life. We can have joy. And that was like one of the purposes of her life. And she felt like whenever she was interacting with anyone, she wanted to bring them happiness. She wanted to make them laugh. She wanted to make even if they're having the crummiest day, or she was having the crummiest day, one of the first things she would do when she interacted with you, she was all smiles and she would make you laugh because she went through her life with laughter, like hand in hand. It was really important to her.
oh,
Um, Not necessarily like specifically cracking jokes, just like bringing in comedy or humor, being able to not take anything too seriously and laugh at it, laugh at just the circumstance of life is how she lived her life. And it was really important as a part of her personality. And I do feel like it was intentional because I feel like
oh
she
yeah.
went through some rough stuff. She was familiar to like a rough background and hardship and particularly maybe a hard family life, but
Yeah.
she intentionally made the choice to smile and to laugh about it and to focus on the light instead of the dark in the aspect of her life. And it defined her. It defined who she was. And everybody could see that light and benefit because she gave it out. She gave it to
Yes.
everyone, right?
Oh my. This is her.
That's what she wants to lead in with because that's her, right? That's her. But then she just kind of show me like this hot bod. Like she
Oh, she's laughing right now saying that as you're saying that, guarantee. I can hear it.
she's like curved. It's like she's like
She's
showing
doing
it off just a
it.
little bit.
Oh yeah. You've nailed every aspect of
A little
her.
sensual. She's a little sensual about, and she's not afraid to take it there.
No.
Was her passing illness based? She's showing me some kind of illness long term. Was it something like cancer?
Yes.
Okay. It seems like something that built up over the course of several years until
Yeah.
it got to the point where it was not fightable anymore, even though she fought and she fought hard. And everyone, she wants to make this again stand out that she left right up till the end. And it was like one of the defining moments of her passing is that she just took it in stride. It did not weigh her down. She was not ready to go. She
No.
had people, she had a family, she was young. Like she was not ready
Yeah.
to go yet. But she still embraced the sunshine, like the happy part of life. And she wanted everyone to know that you still should. There's always light, even in the darkest circumstance. There's always something that you can be happy for, that you can laugh about, and that's how you have to. You either laugh or you cry. That's like
Right.
what she's saying. And she didn't want to spend her life crying. She did not want to spend her last days, her last months crying. I feel like there was a point she fought it up to a point where she was like she realized that she wasn't going to win,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like maybe around the last 6 months, it was just like she realized she wasn't going to make it. And this was really, it wasn't something that she let people see into a lot. This understanding that she slowly had to come around to, of like, she had to begin to come to terms with her mortality and everything that she was going to leave behind. And it was really hard because I feel like she had family, right? She had kids. Like, it was like she was leaving things, important things behind.
Yeah.
And it was really hard. But she had to kind of come to grips and understand there's two ways that I can go out. I can go out sobbing through the rest of this 6 months, being miserable and having that be how people remember me, or I can go out with a smile and I can embrace every good thing that I'm given for the last 6 months of my life and live to my fullest. And I feel like that is where she was like, I've got to do it this way. I've got to go out this way. And so that was really important for her at the end of her life to focus on as she came into it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That hits very on the nose.
She does show me that you guys were pretty close. I feel like you were a person that was a confidant of hers, one of the few people that she would let into the deeper feelings of her heart, that she would maybe like complain to, like
Absolutely.
do all the things. You were
All
a
the
safety for her. You were a
yeah.
safety for her. Um, was there like a work relationship that you had? Did you meet her through
Yeah.
work or something? Okay.
Yeah.
So she shows me that that is how you
Oh yeah.
guys met and that you quickly became friends. And
Oh yeah.
it was like you met her for this half of her personality and you had these similarities and it was just like sisters. Like you were instantly like
Oh,
made for each
I
other.
in a pod.
um Okay, this is the second time. She was telling me this a couple seconds ago, and then she jumped into like how you met and to establish
Yeah.
that, but she is coming back. You had mentioned that you have questions. You have questions for her. There are things that you have wondered about maybe her passing or about something like that you've been thinking about. And she's like, we got to get those out of the way because they'll just bother her
Yeah.
for the rest of her life. So,
Aw.
what are those things that you would like to talk about?
Oh man, if I can get him out, I'm very emotional right now. Which she's probably so upset. She's probably like, get it out. Just take a deep breath.
I feel like she was not the emotional one of the two of you. You were maybe more of the crier, and she was maybe more of the laugher or something.
It's because I'm a huge laugher. Like laughter is our medicine, and we
Yeah,
her is loud and rambunctious and
yeah.
hilarious. And we would take turns, though. I think in that confidant relationship and that friendship that we had, that sisterhood, definitely a sisterhood. I I wasn't sure if she like right before she passed, she wasn't living in California at the
Yeah.
time, and
She shows me
I
there's
felt it.
distance. Were you not there? You weren't there at her
I
passing,
was
right?
no, no, I wasn't there. She was actually in St. Louis, I believe. Yeah, I um I I'd had this like moment of realization that it was happening, like that the time
Yeah.
was, and I sent her a text, just like, I just hope she got it. I hope she got to feel that or see that.
She didn't respond. This is
Yeah,
the point of the question. She didn't respond because she tells me, first of all, when you were talking, she was saying that you weren't there, and this is something that has always really bothered you. It feels like she moved maybe for treatment or something. She had family. She had family here,
yeah,
um, and so she
infantry.
moved to kind of be around that. But um, it was a really important relationship that you guys had, and so this has been something that's given you guilt and it's been bothering you because it feels like there's no closure. You didn't get to say goodbye in that sense, and you didn't get to tell her how important she was to you for so long. Like really important. Her friendship, I feel like she's letting me know like it changed your life. It mattered to your life. It was one of those pivotal friendships, one of those ones that you always remember and you compare everything else to, right? It was
Yeah,
close. And she is saying that she felt that love from you and she thought about you even in those last days. I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of communication between you two as she left and she went to go seek further treatment. But that
yeah,
doesn't mean that the relationship still didn't matter. It means like there was still that closeness. She's kind of funny about it. She's saying like um, just because you weren't there physically doesn't mean that it like tarnished anything about your relationship with each other. You didn't need that because you guys knew even when you weren't together, you were there for each other. She
yeah,
didn't have any doubts about how you felt about her or the closeness that you had to each other or that you would have been there at a moment's notice if she had asked you to, right? Even if you
yeah.
had your own responsibilities, like you would have dropped everything and flown out there and been there had she asked you to be there, right? She knew that. And she
Okay.
knew that passing. I feel like in her passing, I feel like there was the last couple of days where she was just very weak.
Yeah,
Her body was at its end. It was running down. And I do feel like she read this text. So she shows me like being in those moments, but being more incapable of responding, not having the physical capacity for responding. But I do feel like she knew, and she appreciated it. And it was there because she shows me in those last things, everything else falls away. And what
yeah,
stays with you is the meaning of the connection that you have with other people. It's the relationships that are important, the life experience that you've had. And that is what becomes important in those last things. Everything else doesn't really matter. And she was grateful. She had no regrets for all those times spent with all of those people. And you were one of those special people in her life as well. So that relationship was mirrored and she's grateful for it. And she knows
oh,
exactly how you felt.
okay, good. Um, I have a question for her too. Is she still listening to all her favorite bands up there?
That's a good question. When I ask her that question, she says, I don't have to listen because some of them are here. So maybe some of those people that she used to listen to have actually crossed over because she gives me this impression that she's actually got to meet some of them. And there's a little bit of fangirling.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
really into music. She must have really been into music because
oh,
she's like,
so far.
oh my gosh. She gives me like this sense of like, oh, I got to meet them. It was particularly a man, I think. And she's
Oh,
just like, oh, because they must have been kind of like a sex icon maybe to her as well,
oh,
because she's got this feeling of
every
like,
next icon to her. She's
yeah,
been,
it's like this, like a teenage girl crushing kind of thing.
oh,
Like,
so
so
excited.
yeah, that's really fun.
Yes.
Um,
Oh,
she wants to say about that too, though, that she really enjoys those moments when you listen to the music that you shared,
yeah,
because I feel like you had similar tastes and you
yeah,
think about her. And it's
yeah.
like
It's
we're
that.
reliving that moment together.
Oh,
Um, she also wants to say it's a particular sign for you. Whenever
yeah.
that song comes on the radio, like just suddenly, she's like, that was me. And she
I
wants you to know that.
think,
Particularly when you're having like a rough day or like you're just like frustrated or like stressed out or something and this song comes on and it just like flips your mood around and you like think of her and you laugh. She's like, I sent you that. I need to take credit. It was totally me.
oh, I can hear her voice as you say that. That is
Um,
hysterical. Good. And
do you have any last questions to wrap up
yeah, kind of a final silly question, but something that also was like a close bond. How does she get to interact with animals up there? Does
with
she get
animals?
Yeah, like specifically. Um, I'll just wait. She knows what I'm thinking.
So she's making a reference to like, this is kind of bizarre. She's like, I always wondered if you could talk to animals and they could talk back to you while you were
Yes,
here.
can they? Can they?
Um, but does she have a cat while she was alive?
Yes.
Okay, she's like, when no one was looking, I used to talk to my cat, and
Oh
I would
no.
like watch him for a response. I'd be like, "Do you get what I'm saying? Like, are you with me here?" And she'd like have these conversations with her cat.
I know she did.
That was she's like she's telling me this like anecdotal humor of like, yeah, I tell him all my stories, and he would look scandalized all the time. It's like you have to know what I'm talking about. You have to get it.
Oh, I
um,
can see every like voice and like all the octaves. It's
um,
fun.
so sometimes they make reference to some of the things that they're doing on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they make reference to these things and they kind of let us know what their jobs are, what they're doing, and they're hanging out. She's talking about she gets to help with animals who cross over. Like she gets to be one of the like the animal greeters as they like
Oh my
cross over to the other side.
God.
Because she's really good at it. She matches their energy, and she can
Absolutely.
just like when they come through and they're like missing their people. I haven't had the experience of like seeing the rainbow bridge. They talk about
Yeah.
animals cross the rainbow bridge. Usually for me it's a field, that transition space between one place and the next. I will
Mm.
often see a field, and she lets me know. She shows me like walking across that field and waiting, and she's all excited, and it's like a new friend she gets to meet every time, and she gets to shepherd them across and like help them go to the next place because she has such a light, such a comforting, vivacious spirit. She matches that perfectly. So that's what she's doing on the other
Uh,
side.
Actually makes me happier than anything. I've always wondered if they have a job or if they have something to keep them
Oh yeah.
occupied. She hated being,
Yeah.
so I can't imagine her not having so many things to do.
Yeah. She's very happy. She must have passed a while ago because it feels like she's been on the other side for quite some time. She's kind of adjusted to the notion, and I feel like she has really stepped into the role of being very helpful to people. She's like the happy shoulder angel that comes in when people need that nudge. It's like everything that she had here, she can emphasize now on the other side in like a spiritual way. So she can come through in those moments when people need to see the upside as like an extra gift, right? She can be that good shoulder angel that like when people need that leg up, when they're like getting trodden down, because I do feel like she experienced hardship. I do feel like there was a component with a rough family life or something where she came from, and
Oh yeah.
she understands that element of people and she understands that element of life. And so when people are having that similar experience, she can come in with that full empathy and understanding and then help them to find positivity, help them to see the good in their life and make it through, give hope in a way in that sense, which is really important right now. That's something we can never lose. And she's passionate about it. She's really passionate about helping people make it through those hard times. Um, so yeah, I feel like she's really involved in doing that kind of work on the other side. It's hard sometimes because it's like, what is their job? Like, do they go to work? Are this is their briefcase every single day? Do they put stuff in the computer? Like, do they what's? But it's
Huh.
often kind of insubstantial. A lot of what they do on the other side has a lot to do with like helping other people emotionally, spiritually, um, directing them, guiding them, getting them through life in the best possible way. And I feel like she has a heavy hand in helping people like that, like enjoy and be happy and find meaning and fulfillment, even when things get really hard.
That's I can't picture a better job for her. That's
Yeah.
it's amazing. I never would have thought you would need a job up there, but I guess because time isn't a thing. Is time a thing?
It
Time
works
is,
differently. I mean, I don't have all of the answers. It's not like I get to like stick my head in the door and be like, "What you guys up to up here?" It's like
yeah, right?
I get what they tell me and I get what they give me, and I get glimpses and moments and things that they show me, and I've got like a string chart in my brain of like, okay, we draw this line, this and this and this, and we like build a picture, right? Build a bear. Um, but it like what else are you gonna do for eternity? Like the things that we do to help each other, but they also help us. We grow, right? And that we're still progressing. We're still growing. There's evolution even after death on the other side, and we still have to learn to be better people. And so there's a lot that we can do um, in service to help people on the other side that helps us to be better people too. They
Amazing.
want to be involved. Like they love people here that they love, right?
Yeah.
It's not just like I'm out, guys.
Does she know that she influenced where I am today in many ways,
Yes.
both professionally and emotionally?
Um, it's very sweet. So she gives me kind of a switch. I can feel her energy shift and change here with this. She's a lot of the fun and the emphasis of that, but she can take it serious too. And she shifts down into like this very tender place where she's like, it wasn't just you. You influenced me too. And she needs you to know that you had such a positive effect on her life and the lives of her family members for everything that you guys did and you gave her and you taught her a lot of things. I feel like you influenced her for the better because of who you are and what you believe and what you do. It changed her life. And so it's kind of like a beautiful reciprocal thing where now she can see the full benefit of like these relationships matter. We matter to each other and who we are really matters to people and everything that we hope because she spent her life hoping that she would make a difference in people's lives, right? That it would be good enough, that it would change something. And it did. And she can finally see that kind of pan out in both directions because at the end, when everything falls away, she can see you reflect on everything that happened and the people that were important to you, and you just hope that they understand that, right? So it goes
Yeah.
both ways, and she sees the reciprocation in your life of like, it did. It matters. It really does. It matters. And so everything that we do um, should should be to help other people because like that's what we can give. In the end, that's what we can give. And that is our lasting legacy that we leave with people. And she's like, I would have wanted nothing else. If anybody remembers anything about my life, like this is the thing. This is what I want to leave behind. And that's really important to her. So she really appreciates that. And she's grateful for the relationship that you had and the impact on her life as well. And she's glad that it could go both ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's that gives me a lot of I don't know the word I'm looking for. Peace
Yeah,
and direction too, because I think every day it's a struggle to know if you're doing the right thing.
right, right. Um, she's talking about she has thoughts on
Yeah.
that. We have to move forward with the hope in life. Hope seems to be a central theme for her. The
Yeah.
hope in life that we're making a difference because we don't often get to see the outcome while we're here of what that is. But as
Yeah.
long as you are putting forth that effort and you are being the best that you can be, that difference is often made in much bigger circles than you realize it is. And she wants to like stand as a witness of this, that the impact is real that you have on everyone around you. You lift where you are, you lift where you stand, and everyone else around you feels the lightening of that burden. And she felt that with you, and she was so like fulfilled and satisfied and overjoyed to see on the other side that she was doing the same for you and that it mattered. You mattered to each other. She mattered to the people around her, and you do too, and she wants to stand as a witness of that. Like it matters. What we do and who we are benefit the people around us. Don't ever stop trying. Don't ever give up hope. Even when things are really hard and things suck and you feel like you're just an awful person or nothing is going right, it matters. And it always will. So
Yeah.
she wants to leave you with that.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's so what I needed to hear. So thank you.
Um, in closing,
Ooh,
at the end of a session like this, oftentimes we want to thank them for everything that they've given because politeness matters even in the spirit world.
of course. It
So
sure
we
does.
thank her for showing up and for sharing these beautiful messages with us. And we bring that energy back down and tie it in a beautiful bow and let her get on with her day.
Yay. Thank you, Leanna.
Do you have any comments that you'd like to share with the audience and feedback of how that was for you?
Yeah, if I can do it without blubbering or being completely a mess, I'm sure you get this a lot, but um, that was such a joy. It was 100% pure Leanna through and through. I felt it. I felt it. I heard it. I saw it. Even your facial features and laugh at times mirrored hers. So
Wow.
that was incredible to actually get um, her humor in saying, "Oh, I'm curvy." She was a stick. She was an absolute little teeny tiny just stick of a human, but she was her energy and her vivaciousness and her laugh and her every aspect of being was so big and so beautiful, and it literally lit up a room when you talked about her walking in and just surveying the scene. It was to decide who gets to have this first.
Who gets to have me? It felt
We
like that.
would laugh. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard. And I was just waiting for her to say, every time you see a picture frame, not quite, she hated that were perfect. She would tilt them when someone wasn't looking.
That's
And
hilarious.
I just would go crazy. I'd be like, you did.
I feel little pieces of her everywhere, and it has been 8 years.
Past of breast cancer. And I am now, I'm in imaging. I'm helping build a women's imaging, breast imaging center.
Pretty special. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing her with us. She's a wonderful spirit, and I feel really blessed to be able to meet the coolest people, both in life and on the other side. And she's definitely up there. She had a
Oh, yeah.
great personality.
Yes. And she's still messing with my technological capabilities here. So I don't know what she did to my microphone. I'm not going to claim it's me. There we
Because
go.
you can work it perfectly, right? It would never be you. Use your air. No.
I swear I thought I had it sorted, but I'm sure she's still having a good laugh. No, this was not anything I was prepared for, and also everything I hoped for. Um,
Beautiful.
so thank you so much. I just feel immense gratitude right now that I get to have that little piece of my whole plugged back up. So thank you.
I'm I'm happy. If I do my job right, we get a sense of them. We feel them here with us just for a moment in time and make that connection. And I'm always happy to leave somebody better than when we came, is my goal. So,
What a gift. What a gift.
um, well, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, Allison, for being here and donating your tears and your time and your,
Uh,
your laughter to all of us to be able
uh,
to have that educational experience. I think it's always really beneficial. People, oftentimes, I get this all the time. People come in and they don't know what to expect, or they're kind of afraid or nervous of what this is going to be. And I'm like, no, this should be great. Sometimes it's tender, sometimes it's emotionally. It should be healing. It should be uplifting and enlightening and elevating. So thank you for helping us get the message out and get the word out that this can be a beautiful thing. And we appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me be a part of it.
You can find us on social media. You can, if you have questions you'd like to contact either Camille or I, you can find us on our website, which is throughtheveiledpodcast.com. If you're not on the Facebook community, consider joining where we can all bring together our like interests, ask questions, participate, find people who have similar thoughts, similar questions that you have, similar experiences than you. Um, and if you would like to ask questions or be on the podcast, drop us a line. Let us know if you have had experiences that you'd like to share. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks, everybody.